Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We're kind of setting up the old school sort of video thing here we got going. And as you saw in the title, this is chapter 2 of my book. Since the last update, I have given it a name, which I'm still deciding between like two variations, but it has a name now. And I also decided I'm going to be doing chapter titles, so each chapter is the title will be a different song that I think captures kind of what happens. So the previous chapter, chapter 1, is chapter 1, Lonesome Drifter. And here we go, chapter 2, Basements. Clint creaked open the door to his rickety old house. It was late by now. The sun had set over the prairie and a haze of the night had frosted the ground. As he pushed through the door, he knew from the tangy stench alone that his father was whiskey drunk on the couch once again. Some rerun channel buzzed over the TV, casting blue light across the dulled shapes of the open den. He picked up the shimmering bottles strewn across the floor and dropped them, clinking down into the trash bag, hung up on an oranging nail haphazardly settled in the kitchen. He stared at the pile of dishes left in the sink. His skin crawled at the thought of plunging his hands into the viscera of the murky water. His mind danced back to the man in the barroom. He hadn't had a proper dance since senior prom, stuffed into some ill-fitting department store suit, awkwardly dancing with some girl who was long gone by now, not relegated to being a small-town sweetheart anymore. She had found her way out. She found a road for herself and never looked back. He wondered about his old friends. Split across the country like survivors of some great shipwreck, Clint was still stuck in the whale. The phone hanging on the wall tempted him. Yellow and still in its place, flawless aside from a thin layer of dust atop the seldom-used relic. Small clicks echoed through the unstirring house as Clint removed the phone from its home on the wall and punched in the number of his old friend. It had been a while since they had chatted, but he was one of the few of his class left in town. He needed someone to spend time with. He felt so alone. The phone rang for a minute before a buzz, and he heard the scratchy sound of his friend's voice through the receiver. "Hey, Paul, it's me, Clint. How's it going?" Clint spoke softly into the phone. "Oh, sorry you got me at a bad time. Me and my wife are finishing up packing. I can't talk for long. What's up?" Paul replied, his words muffled by the phone's aged components. "Oh, what are you packing for?" Clint's interest piqued. "My wife got a job in Denver. We're moving out here in a few days, so it's a lot of work getting everything in order." Clint hung up abruptly. He stared out the small window over the sink. Now even Paul found his escape. A moth fluttered by and stuck to the outside of the window pane, drawn towards the light leaking out of the window. The delicate creature twitched and jerked, beating itself upon the glass, desperate to reach the light. "You can fly. You can get out. Why don't you just go?" Clint whispered. He sighed and turned to wilt away in bed. That's all he could do anymore. As he started towards the rickety stairs, he heard the faint orchestral swell emit from the TV. As the trumpets kicked in, he was enveloped in a sweet rush of nostalgia as he recognized the Star Wars theme, humming faintly from the other room. The world warmed up back for a second. He was always loved those movies. There was no freedom here. No starship to whisk him off a grand adventure among the stars. He turned off the TV and went upstairs to his room. As Clint sat in bed and watched the stars over the plain, his mind wandered once again to that dance he shared with Waylon. Maybe he could get away. He had enough experience as a ranch hand. Many back-breaking summers caring for those horses were archived across his skin. Old scars from days out in the field, mishaps he wished he could forget and undo. The darkness of the sky was quickly replaced with the darkness of his eyelids as he drifted into an uneasy sleep. Heat glared down upon Clint from the high noon sun, scorched his back, and the rock sprawled across the dirt road, cut into the soles of his feet. A distant shape appeared on the edge of the horizon, a mirage perhaps, jutting upwards as if it were a newborn calf staggering to its feet after surviving the gore of the escape of the womb. Clint made a break for it. He scrambled across the road, pebbles cut into his skin like small daggers, blood pouring from his hands and feet. He ran and ran, desperate to reach the monolith. Another figure appeared before the monolith. His hands and feet caked in dried blood, and under the heat of the pulsing sun, the man turned. His face was obscured by a pure light. Blindingly, he looked down at Clint, crumpled mass before him. As he reached down to touch the poor soul before him, Clint woke up with a jolt. The morning sun glared through the window into his eyes, though he knew this was real. This was too lifeless to be a dream. Clint quickly got dressed and packed a small bag of essentials in an old duffel bag. He slipped on his boots and crept down the stairs, careful not to wake his father, who still lay unstirring on the sagging leather couch. He decided to walk to the motel. It's not too far, and if all went to plan, he wouldn't need to see this shitty truck ever again. Morning dew stuck to the sparse patches of grass sprinkled across the side of the road as he made his way in the early morning dawn. When he made it to the motel, he spotted the beautiful teal car glowing like a beacon. He dared not lean on it for fear of causing even a minor scratch. A puff of dust rose as Clint plopped his bag down and squatted next to the car, waiting for his savior to appear. He looked up to the heavens, his eyes pleading a silent prayer, one he dared not say aloud. He rested there, hat hung down low over his head. Clint feels a hand tip up the hat and flick it off his head. "Hey there, barman, what are you doing down there in the dirt?" Waylon teased, throwing his luggage into the back seat, next to some half-empty six-packs and other various groceries, breads, fruits, and other cans stacked neatly into piles. Last night you said you needed a stable hand? I used to work at my grandpa's ranch when I was younger. I know my way around a horse." Clint stumbled through the sentence. This was his one chance. "You don't even have to keep me with you. You can drop me off anywhere. I'll hop a train, hitchhike my way to the Pacific Ocean. I don't care. I just need to leave." Clint felt pathetic, begging on his knees, groveling in front of a stranger. What other choice did he have? Either make a fool of himself or die in Oklahoma, returning to the dust from whence he came. He looked up at Waylon once more, watching the cogs turn in the cowboy's head. "All right, cowpoke, I got room for two." Waylon picked up Clint's bag and gently placed it beside his own in the back seat. Head out to West Virginia now for the next ride. He sunk down to the driver's seat and coaxed the purring engine alive. The car hummed as they pulled out of the motel parking lot and rolled off down the long road east. All right, and that's the end of chapter 2. I do have chapters 1 through 5, or 5-ish, written. They're about 40 pages. I think this might be the last one I narrate because my dyslexia really likes to fight me. I don't know if I actually have dyslexia, but it's hard for me to read aloud. But yeah, let me know what you think. I think once the book is finished, which I've committed to writing every single day, so hopefully it'll be done sooner rather than later, I might do a small batch. I just order from some company online. If you're interested in buying a copy, I'll probably do pre-orders, and we'll just see how much costs are for like ordering books, and if it makes sense for me to do that. So I'll keep you posted on all that. I did design a cover, which I'll put up on screen right now. It's kind of a shorter video, I guess. I don't really know actually how long it is, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been having a lot of fun writing this. I will say, while I was reading it, I noticed some things I want to fix up grammar-wise, so if there were any weird pauses, that was just because I was like, oh, I should rewrite that. I haven't looked back at chapter 2 in a while. Like I said, I'm on chapter 6, which is like, it's been 30 pages since I looked back at this. I really need to reread my stuff more. Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.